Hey, how's it going, fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rohan, and it's my platform where I do fight sports related content. If you're new to the channel, I need your help to help me grow the platform. All you have to do is like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and maybe hit that bell icon so you know every time I upload a video. With that said, this is a very exciting fight going on over in One Championship. It's a fight that I can't wait to play out, so it's one that I will absolutely be breaking down. And it's an upcoming World Championship fight between Fairtex, that now you guys are knowing as an MMA sensation, but actually she's a superstar in the world of Muay Thai as well, as she rematches one of the toughest world fighters on that level right now in Janet Todd. That's an interesting rematch of a fight that's already previously happened. A great fight that One Championship has up on their channel, and you guys should definitely go check it out if you haven't seen the first fight. And the rematch should be no different. I'm expecting an absolute war. There's a couple of key considerations coming into this fight. Firstly, for Fairtex. Fairtex is a very interesting position. While she's a long-time veteran in the world of Muay Thai, she's still only 22 years old, and she is making a very, very interesting transition over to the world of mixed martial arts, where she is quickly becoming a star. And she took out Pooja Tomat to go 4-0 in her young MMA career. She fights Janet Todd, who's a very experienced veteran in the world of Muay Thai, and most certainly wants to make the most of the opportunity she's getting now. The first time they fought, it was the first time she had ever competed in MMA gloves, and no doubt that impacted her game. But it's going to be very interesting to see if she can rebound or work her game around this fight. So I'm very interested to see that. Also, when you're looking at someone like Fairtex, you've got to look at someone that One Championship most definitely, is rubbing their hands together, kind of like the proverbial Mr. Burns, and they're seeing someone that they can market as a superstar, because she has most definitely got superstar potential, personality, and ability. She's talented, she's got the look, she's got the abilities, her fights are incredibly exciting, and I'm a big fan of Fairtex and everything she can do. So without further ado, let's go through the tape and break it down. So to start off the tape, it's very important to note that Fairtex is 22, only 22, and I mentioned that a few times now, but she's so young, still so young in her game. She's still at the beginning that I don't even believe she's peaked yet, and she fights a fighter in Janet Todd, who is 34 years old. Janet Todd is a very experienced fighter in the world of Muay Thai, and at 34, she's most certainly coming towards the end of her competitive professional window as a female athlete competing at 115 pounds. It's something to be very, very considerate of, and I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. I'm very, very intrigued to see if Janet Todd is actually on the decline in this fight, because she didn't look like it in her past couple of fights. But there are some telltale signs, in my opinion, that we're starting to see if you would have seen any of her earlier fights. I believe she's not as fast on the trigger anymore. That might just be experience, or maybe a little bit gun shy. Her reflexes just don't seem to be quite as sharp anymore. So I'm very interested to see if that is actually indicative of an ongoing problem and a decline in her career, or it was just something that maybe she's had an off night or two. Let's see it play out. It's something to keep your eye on. Fairtex comes into this fight with a record of 63 wins and 15 losses. She's a very experienced professional, and she's the current reigning world champion. And she takes on Janet Todd, who comes into this fight with a record of 35 wins and 11 losses. Like I said, they're both very experienced fighters, and they both won world titles, competed for world titles. There's no discrepancy in experience here. Fairtex stands at 5'2", which makes her about an inch or so shorter than Janet Todd, who stands at about 5'3". Now that can differ depending on where you see it. Now I've seen different stats that have said she's between 5'4", and some that have said that she's 5'2", 5'3". She looks around that 5'3" mark, to be honest with you. She doesn't look like she's taller than Fairtex by a big margin, so that's, I would say, a safe bet to say around that mark. The reach is another thing that I've struggled to find, but actually when you was watching that fight, the original fight, reach didn't seem to play a factor into this, so it's not a key element that we're missing in this breakdown. They're both standing on orthodox stance, but what is different in their fighting style is that Janet Todd likes to pick singular shots in her fight, that her attack is based on singular shots, that she'll chip away, whereas Fairtex will smash you. She likes combinations. She likes to hold, grab a leg and bang, 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 multiple shots with the same hand, and she done that in the first fight. Fairtex also likes to dump people on the ground. She's very strong in the clinch. She's a very strong young lady for the weight class, and I feel like she's enjoyed that advantage over a lot of the girls in the division, which is probably what prompted her to consider MMA, because she felt like she was doing so well in the grappling. So that's very, very interesting. One of the key factors coming into this fight for both of these ladies, for Fairtex, is definitely going to be her power, knockout power, and her clinches, like I was mentioning. And for Janet Todd, with all the experience that she has, and for everything she's been through, all the titles she's won regionally, nationally, internationally, on the world stage, finally having that opportunity, is her poise. She is someone that stays very calm and collected in the worst of situations. I have no doubt that she's going to try and negate this. The issues coming into this fight for Stamp Fairtex is going to be her focus. Her focus hasn't just been on Muay Thai. She's been fighting in MMA and she's been fighting in Muay Thai. She's beating this lady again. Maybe that's on her mind. Maybe she comes into this overconfident. But you have to consider the fact that she is competing in dual sports now. Where is her attention? Meanwhile, you got Janet Todd who's only focusing on Muay Thai and she wants to get this win back, and she ain't there. She's definitely coming into this fight knowing that she lost to the girl and she wants to give it her all. Whereas Stamp Fairtex is in a very different place than Janet Todd, isn't she? So that's definitely an issue coming into this fight. And for Janet Todd, it's definitely going to be the decline that she could potentially be facing. It's going to be her biggest issue. And I'm very, very interested to see how this one plays out. Let's get into the breakdown. The last fight, what we saw was that Stamp Fairtex was the much stronger fighter of the two. She was very strong compared to her in the clinch. She was able to control the clinch exchanges, and whenever she connected, it had an impact, as opposed to when Janet Todd connected, that Stamp Fairtex was able to shake it off. Technically, nothing has changed, right? The fight wasn't that long ago. It's only been about a year now since the fight happened. Technically, they haven't evolved in any particular way. Janet Todd certainly hasn't. If anyone has, I would say Stamp has. She's probably stronger in her clinch now because she's incorporated wrestling and grappling in her game, considering she's moving over to MMA, so she most certainly has got that also going in her game right now. So of the two, the scope for growth has been higher for Stamp Fairtex, and I would say that she has actually grown in her game in a lot of ways, much more than Janet Todd has. So in my opinion, we're going to see Stamp Fairtex come out there. She's going to, much like the last fight, she's going to get her respect early. In the clinches, we're going to see Stamp win, and as the fight goes on, it's going to favour the younger, more talented, stronger fighter, which is Stamp Fairtex. Now, a lot of respect to Janet Todd, but I don't see a way that she can win this fight. I'm leaning on Stamp Fairtex to dominate the fight and be able to either get a late finish or to be able to ride out a unanimous decision to retain her world championship. And I look forward to seeing her back in MMA to see what she could do next. Would love to see her get matched up with Rita Pogata at some point, but let's see how that plays out. Anyways, fight fans, why don't you guys comment below and let me know how you see the fight going. Let me know if this is a fight that you was looking to watch, and if not, please do watch it and let me know if I've convinced you to watch the fight. It's a great fight on One Championship, which I always promote their product. They've got a great product. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, I'm Rohan, and this is Mind for Combat.